Hello, curious minds. Have you ever looked at the moon and thought, what if it was made of cheese? Sounds like a children's fairy tale, but what if it were true? Today, we'll dive into the wildest dairy fantasies. First and foremost, density. The average density of the moon is 3.34 grams per cubic centimeter. Now, let's take cheddar. Cheese is almost 5 times less dense than lunar rock. This leaves us with a choice. Either the moon retains its current size but becomes much lighter, or it retains its current mass but becomes huge, about 67% larger than its current size. For our experiment, let's choose the second option. Our cheese moon retains its mass but inflates. If the moon retains the same mass as it does now, that means its gravitational pull remains almost the same, and that means Earth's tides will be just as powerful as they are now. But wait, if the cheese moon becomes 67% larger, it will be closer to Earth and its gravitational effect will be slightly stronger. So get ready for more extreme tides. Surfers, rejoice. Sailors, hold on tight. Our giant cheese moon will look completely different. First, it will be much brighter. Cheese reflects more light than rocks, so the night sky will become much brighter. Farewell, romance of dim moonlight. But that's not all. The moon doesn't have a dense atmosphere to protect it from extreme space temperatures and solar radiation. During the day, it would heat up, possibly melting and releasing gases, creating a temporary, edible atmosphere of cheese smell. At night, it would freeze to the bone. The cheese rocks would constantly melt and freeze, creating a bizarre, bubbly, and cracked surface. Imagine cheese with a crust the size of a continent. Now for the most interesting part, what if we could eat it? If the moon were cheese, it would be a huge, unimaginable source of food. But it's not that simple. Cosmic radiation would sterilize the surface, but the interior might retain its bacteria and cheese culture. However, prolonged exposure to vacuum and radiation would likely make the cheese not very appetizing. It would quickly dehydrate, becoming hard as rock, and most likely acquire a rather cosmic taste, perhaps with notes of radiation and dust. Anyone want a slice of cheese moon rock? And finally, the long-term consequences. If we really started eating the moon, or if it gradually eroded due to constant melting and freezing, its mass would decrease. This would lead to a weakening of its gravitational pull, which would affect the stability of Earth's axis and the length of our days. Farewell, stable climate. So, while the idea of a cheese moon seems fun, in reality, it would turn into a grand cosmic catastrophe and a bunch of very dry, strangely smelling boulders. But at least we'd know for sure what's for dinner. There you have it. A moon made of cheese is a fantasy that's much more complex than it seems. What other crazy scenarios would you like us to explore? Write your ideas in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon.